I just wanted to get your reaction about what it felt like to be standing behind Senator Birch when you heard her tell that story and realizing that if this were 2 weeks from now, she would not be able to tell that story.
Well, Arizonans across the state are reeling from this decision, and I know that stories like Senator Birch's are much more common than most people realize. And the devastating impact of this ban that it will have on health care for women across the state is just unconscionable. As you described, this is a ban from 1864 that was enacted before we were a state, before women had the right to vote, and has extreme measures that prevent abortion, even in cases of rape or incest, that have no regard for complications of pregnancy and requires jail time for doctors. This is an outrageous ban, and it's why I immediately called on the legislature to repeal this ban. And not only repeal this ban, but to enact protection for IVF and guarantee access to contraception. But Arizonans also are going to have the chance to weigh in on this in November and enshrine the right to abortion in our state's constitution through a ballot measure. And as governor, I'm going to do everything I can to ensure that that ballot measure passes. And I would urge folks to join us at ArizonaForAbortionAccess.org.
So, as you know, Kari Lake, who was running against you for governor, fully supported this ban, fully supported this law coming into effect if it was going to. Today, she now says she opposes it, and her bright idea today is that Governor Hobbs has to solve the problem. She said this is now your problem to solve.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, this is just nothing but political opportunism on her part, and any other politician who supported this ban, politicians who celebrated the Dobbs decision, which paved the way for today's decision. And Arizonans are going to have the opportunity to hold these folks accountable in November. As you heard from the senator's remarks, every legislator in Arizona is up for election in November, and every single Republican in our state's legislature voted for a fetal personhood bill that I was fortunately able to veto last year, but would have paved the way for an Alabama-style ruling that bans IVF in Arizona. And these folks are on the record supporting this ban, and they can't walk away from that now.
The state Supreme Court in their ruling said, literally, physicians are now on notice that all abortions, except those necessary to save a woman's life, are illegal. Physicians are now on notice. What can you tell the physicians, the nurses, the healthcare workers in Arizona, and any family member or friend who might ever drive a woman to an appointment with her physician?
Well, again, this is just an outrageous decision that puts so many Arizona women in harm's way. We know for the next 45 days that the 15-week ban that Arizona has is in place. But after that, without further action from the court, this total ban will be the law of Arizona. I hope the legislature does the right thing and does what I've called on them to do and repeals this ban, because we're already seeing the level of chaos and confusion that this is causing. And Arizonans need access to health care. Doctors and healthcare providers need to be able to provide the health care that their patients need and not fear the repercussions of going to jail for doing that.
What does it do to life in Arizona when people wake up one day and they don't have the rights they had the day before?
Well, you heard the senator's story. We heard another story from a woman this morning with pregnancy complications that required abortion care and was not able to get it in Arizona, even though the procedure she was needed was not outlawed. But their stories there's thousands of those stories across Arizona, and nobody should have to justify an abortion, and nobody should have to worry about being able to get the care they need if they're pregnant. And we have to repeal this ban so that these women's lives are not at risk.
And for the voters of Arizona, will they have the possibility of seeing this on the ballot as something that they can vote on?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, we will have a constitutional measure on the ballot to enshrine abortion in our Constitution. And I am glad Arizonans are going to have the opportunity to have their voice heard on this. It is a common sense measure. Access to abortion is supported by the vast majority of Arizonans, and I'm confident that it will pass. And as governor, I'm going to do everything that I can to help make sure that it does.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.